Good morning everybody, שפע ברוכו והצלחות. השיעור שלנו של קדושים וטהורים. parashat Vayechi. Parashat Vayechi is ending the Sefer Bereshit. Sefer that one calling the straight book, Sefer HaYashar, and also the Derech Eretz, the way of, let's say, the right way to live your life with the good virtues. And this is a Bereshit. And maybe in Vayechi we have, let's say, a summary of everything. And this summary is special, especially in when we talk about the blessing that Yaakov gives to his sons. And some of them don't look exactly like blessing, but they're all blessing, as the Torah said. But first of all, let's see what's happening in the beginning. Vayechi Yaakov be'eretz Mitzrayim 17 shana v'yemei Yaakov. And Yaakov Avinu lived in Egypt for 17 years. And everybody's asking, why do we talk about those 17 years? And just told, he lives 147 years. So what's the separation of those 17 years? In those 17 years, what Yaakov did was very important for us today. And it is Rabbi Yehuda Nasi that he took all the Torah Sheba'al Peh, all the verbal Torah, and put it in writing. And where he did it, he said on himself, he was living in Sipori for 17 years, like Yaakov Avinu lived in Egypt for 17 years. So what are those 17 years? First, 17 in Hebrew, it's Tov. Tov is 17 in Gematria. Vayechi Yaakov be'eretz Mitzrayim 17 shana, 17 is Tov. Tov, Tet, 9, and 6 is 15, and Shtaim Bet is 17. And what was this Tov? This Tov was that Yaakov Avinu, during those 17 years, he taught Am Yisrael the way they should behave, Torah, and gave them all the right tools from the Torah to, let's say, to go through the times, the bad times and the good times that are going to be in the future, especially to hold on when it's not such a good time. And this is exactly what Rabbi Yehuda Nasi did when he wrote the Torah Sheba'al Peh in the Mishnah. Why? Because in his generation there were very few that knew the Torah Sheba'al Peh. They didn't know the verbal Torah. They didn't know all those Mishnayot. And there was a problem that in a few years everything is going to vanish, and nobody is going to know the Torah Sheba'al Peh, which is the assets of the Torah. So he decided to write it, and he did this in those 17 years. And he says the same way as Yaakov was teaching the children, his family, the Torah, and gave them the tools for the diaspora and the bad times ahead and all the times ahead. This is what he did. He also prepared the nation for the times when it's going to be a time that people will not remember the Torah, and there is no Torah, there is nothing. If there is no Torah, there is no world, everything is going to be destroyed. So both of them, Yaakov and Yehuda Nasi, gave tools in those 17 years for the continuance of Am Yisrael. And this is the first thing to understand. Why is the Torah telling us those 17 years separated from his age? And why is calling Vayechi when we're talking about the death of Yaakov and also of Yosef in the Parsha? Because we, in the Jewish tradition, we don't look at the life as life that's to just move and breathe and eat and drink. No. Real life is spiritual life, is be connected to the Torah and to the good deeds. And this is what Yaakov is telling us in this Parsha. And we find out also in our Parsha something very interesting. Onclus. Onclus is a meturgaman. He is a translator. That's what we think. But he is not a translator. He is one of the best interpreters, not interpreters, he is one of the best way to learn the meaning and the explanation of the Torah. And we see that especially in our Parsha. And one of the unbelievable examples is Yisachar. Look on Yisachar. 1 minute. Yisachar Chamor Garem. like Yisachar is a donkey. Rovetz ben HaMishpatayim is lying between towns or whatever they explain. Vayar menucha, and he sees the rest, it's good. And the land, Kinaema, is nice. Vayechi, so he takes his on his back to suffer. Vayhile masoved, and he's like giving taxes. Rashi explains. Yisachar chamor garem, chamor bal atzamot. He has got bones, big bones, that he can suffer the, let's say, the heaviness of the Torah. Kechamor chazak, like a strong donkey that you put on him a lot of stuff and very heavy, and he still takes it. Rovetz ben HaMishpatayim, kechamor hamalech bayom balayla. A donkey walks day and night with the what is carried on his back. Doesn't matter for him, he even can sleep with it. And this is exactly Issachar, who learns Torah day and night, and he carries the burden of the Torah on his back, and he doesn't care how heavy it is. Because because he sees that here is opportunity to take from the land, from this world, from Olam Hazeh, fruits for the next world. And there is going to have unbelievable. Look what Onclus is saying. Explain. This is okay, we understand. So Issachar is a scholar. He sits and learns days and night, and which is beautiful and nice. By the way, here we can also do Zvulun. Zvulun lechofev mishkon. Zvulun is the guy who grieves into Parnosa. And by the way, he is before him. Zvulun lechofev mishkon, v'hu lechofev v'yargez. Zvulun is going to live near the sea. He's going to the sea. He is supporting Issachar, which is the Skem Issachar with Zvulun. And this is, by the way, why he is before Yisachar. Why Yisachar is a scholar who learns Torah, but the one who supports the Torah is very, very important, because without the support of the supporters of the Torah, there won't be no Torah. Because if you haven't got anything to eat, if nobody supports you when you sit and learn, how could you survive? But when Zvulun goes out, he goes out and brings parnasa for Issachar, so Issachar can sit and learn. So he is before. And this is also a big lesson for us, to understand and realize the power of those who support the Torah. It's not only learning the Torah. If you cannot learn, you have to learn whatever you can, Daf Yomi, whatever. But if you cannot learn anyway, when you support a scholar or somebody who sits and learns, this is unbelievable. This is the best thing that you can do. And, of course, the scholar himself is Issachar. And as we said, we understand, Yisachar is a Talmid Chacham. But look what is Onclus, how he is translating, yes. And you tell me if this isn't translating. Yisachar atir ben nichsin v'ach sante ben tuchomaya. Yisachar, he is a billionaire. He's got a lot of assets. V'ach sante ben tuchomay. And his kingdom, his place is between the borders, between the sea and the land. And he sees his good part that he's got. And he sees the fruits that his land is giving him. And now look, Vayechi lisbol, like he took on the burden on his back. This is the explanation of Rashi. What is Onclus saying? Vayechabesh mechozei amemaya veyeshetzei yad dereon. He is going to conquer places, towns, nations, and he's going to destroy all those who live there. Veyashmid et yoshvehem. Those who are going to survive what he's doing, how going to falchin maskei misin, they're going to be working for him and giving him taxes. How, this is like a scholar, how did Onclus got to this conclusion? This is something that it's very hard to understand. How is it possible? What's going on here? What is this all about? When we look, I think the Rav Yitzchak Bernstein brings this. When we look in Pirkei Avot, in Perek Shlishi, look what's written of the one who learns Torah. 1 minute, Perek Shlishi. Rabbi Nechunya ben Hakane Omer, Kol HaMekabel alav Torah, everybody who takes on the burden of the Torah, Ma'avirim imenu ol malchut, taking from him the burden of the kingdom and derech eretz, and like he doesn't have to let's say to be under the law, under the king. But that's okay, let's leave this. Let's see what's written in Perek Shishi. Sorry. Rabbi Meir says, Kol ha'osek b'Torah lishma. Anybody who learns Torah for the Torah, not for his benefit, not for reward, zochel לדברים אחרים, he's going to win a lot of things. ולא עוד, and not only this, אלא שכל העולם, but the whole world is worthy for him. כדאי הוא לו, ונקרא רע, is going to be a friend, loving the people, and is being dressed with humbleness and fear of God, umachsharto, and it's going to learning the Torah, it's going to prepare him to be a tzaddik, a chassid, yashar, ne'eman, loyal, and it's taking him away from the sin, and it's getting him closer to the privileges, and it's going to give good advice to everybody, and bina ugvura, and wisdom, and let's say strength, שנאמר, לי עצה ותושייה, אני בינה לגבורה ונותן, and then, this is all right, but now see what the פרקי אבות says. ונותנת לו מלכות וממשלה וחיקור דין, and it gives him kingdom, and he governs, and חיקור דין, מגלים לו רזי תורה, that the Torah is going to be, is going to reveal, it's going to find in the Torah all the secrets, ונעשה כמען המתגבר, and in other words, when we look at it, he wins. That's what Onclus is saying. If you take the Torah and you learn the Torah properly, like Issachar, you are going to be at a different level. Also from a physical side, from the physical point of view, because we have to understand, a tzaddik, the physical point of view is not so important for him. What is important for him is that he can sit and learn. In other words, nothing from all the things. He is the real king. He is the king. It's like in Vayiga says Yehuda, and this is his blessing of sorry, this is Issachar, and Yehuda is saying, "Bi Adoni, my master, my Lord is inside me. It's the neshama. This is what controls me." And this is exactly Issachar. Issachar Chamor Garim. He takes on himself the burden of the Torah, but in this, when he's doing this, he's really a king of everything. He conquers countries. He conquers the whole physical world, because this is nothing for him. And all the others, they are giving him taxes. They are know that the Talmid Chacham, the one who's got the Torah, he's got the real power. This is an unbelievable explanation of Onclus. But when we look at it, and what's going on is, and one of the most important things is that when we look at the beginning of all those blessings, says, Vayikra Yaakov el banav v'omer yasfu, gather in, and I'm going to tell you what's going to happen to you in Nachrit Hayamim. I'm going to tell you about the Geula, what the end of days. And then, it doesn't say anything. He's starting with a blessing. So Rashi says, Bikesh legalot haketz, he wanted to tell when it's going to be the Geula, when the end of days is going to come, but God stopped him from saying it, and he lost the Ruach HaKodesh. ונסתלקה ממנו השכינה והתחיל לומר דברים, and he started to say other things, and he's blessing his children, his sons. The Zohar HaKadosh says, if the Torah says that Yaakov called his sons and he wanted to tell them what's going to happen in the end of days and on the Geula, and the Torah doesn't say that he didn't say it, so he said it. So how did he say it? Said an unbelievable thing. All those blessings, this is going to bring us to the end of days, to the Geula. But the main thing is, said, I think the Shlagado says is, E'asfu, gather up together, Va'agida, Agida like Guda, be together like when we take the lulav and the etrog and the arbam and the 4 spices together. Va'agida lachem asher יקראו לכם. If you will gather together and be together as one, then you will be able to bring the end of days, the Geula, b'mira b'yameinu amen. So that's the power of being together. So with all those tools that we're getting in the blessing, we have to take those tools, each one of us. If it's what the blessing of Issachar, it's the blessing of Yehuda, all the blessing. We have to take them, and each one of us with the tools that we got from God, get together. And if we get together, nobody can win us. And we will get to the Geula Shlema B'Rabbi Ameinu Amen. And I want to end it in a story, because Vayar menucha ki tov. Issachar looks and he sees that there is good going to come out of the, let's say, it's not suffering, of the burden of the Torah, of putting himself in the Torah day and night. Is going to only come good out of it. Vayar menucha ki tov. He says the menucha is good, and he take himself, okay, I'm putting myself into the Torah. It's like the story with this, the Magi Midubna brings this mashal. He says this guy was a diamond dealer, and they had a market like once a year in some place, wherever he had, and he went to this a market, and he took for them money to buy diamonds, and of course also money to go there and back. $4,000, that's $2,000 going there, $2,000 coming back. And he went there and he did very, very good business. And Baruch Hashem, he spent all the money he took, and he got left the $2,000 to get back. He's already moving to go, and somebody comes to him and says, I have got something very good for you. And he shows him diamonds. He says, do you see those diamonds? They're worth at least $30,000. I'm willing to pay them in any price. He says, I've got only $2,000. I've got money. I've spent all the money, and I need this money to go back. He says, $2,000 is yours. And he looks at him, what's going on here? He says, somebody talked the tax people about me, and if I'm not going to sell those diamonds and give it to somebody, they're going to take me. I'm going to jail. I'm going to pay. I don't know. I have to sell it any price. He says, 2,000. You cannot. 1,500. He says, 1,500. I can't do it. So I'll go back with $500. He buys those diamonds for $30,000 and worth $30,000 for $1,500. Unbelievable. Puts them in the pocket and he goes, but now he's got a problem. He cannot go back first class as he's used to. He cannot stay in 5-star hotel deluxe because he hasn't got the money. And he cannot eat in the best restaurants because he hasn't got enough money. So he goes in the train in the lowest level, at the back of the train, and he takes a hostel to stay, and he eats in a restaurant, in a worker restaurant in one of the places in town. Suddenly, somebody who knows him sees him sitting there and eating, says, Yankele, what are you doing here? Says, what? What this? You are used to what? Something happened? Says, nothing. What, did you lose your money? No, ma pitom, I'm well and good. Baruch Hashem. Says, so what are you doing here? So he's telling the story. He says, I don't understand. And he shows him the diamonds. Wow, yo, you did a good deal. But I don't understand. You are very spoiled. How can you suffer like this? How can you stay in places like this? He says, every time I've got a little sadness about the situation, I take the diamonds out of my pocket and look at them, and I see, wow, and I'm going on. And this is how the way we have to do. Vayar menucha ki tov. What is Issachar is teaching us? When we understand the power of the Torah, the power of using the time here in the best way, we will spend more on Torah and good deeds and loving each other, and less on all the stupid things that we spend money. Beautiful hotels, clothes, eating in fancy restaurants, and all those other things. And we're not going to suffer. Vayar menucha, we will see and understand what's waiting for us. And this will fill us with happiness. And we can understand that the way that we behave, that we take on ourselves the burden of the Torah and Maasim Tovim, it's worth more than anything in the world. So Bezrat Hashem, let's read the Torah, let's see the Parsha, let's learn from each one of the blessings that Yaakov gave to his children. What are the tools that we got? And use them in the best way. And understand that the minute we did this is Vayechi. This is real living. Vayechi Yaakov, when we go and we take the Torah that Yaakov gave his children, Rabbi Yehuda Nasi gave to us in the Mishnah, and Moshe Rabbeinu gave us the Torah, and God is there looking at us, using the tools in order to do the Torah, to do the mitzvahs, to do the good in the eyes of God. The reward is unbelievable, and this is the right way to go. Use the tools in the best way. Good day.